Hi everyone, my name is Anastasia, Mr. Nice Guy on the social media, and welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk about fashion, the history, the industry, the trends, and more. I'm happy to have you here. I think that at this point the majority of you know that luxury fashion brand don't just sell nice garments and nice clothing anymore. They sell feelings, ideas, lifestyle, stories and pictures, and so on and so forth. And I think that you also probably know that winter holiday season is one of the most profitable for the majority of the industries, fashion included. And I have always been kind of fascinated by the narrative that fashion brands sell to us. As some of you who know me for a while from the Instagram, for instance, know, I have graduated from the Lomonosov Moscow State University, and the bachelor program I've studied was public relationship and advertising. My whole research and my thesis work was all about fashion, like fashion industry, how it works, how public relationship work within this industry, how brands communicate with their potential and actual consumers, all this jazz. So today I thought we should do a little bit of research of our own, or I should, and I already did, and I want to share it with you. And that is gonna be of what kind of marketing holiday spirit in the fashion industry consists of. I will talk you through 5 main narratives that I've noticed with the examples, of course, because we are doing everything with the examples. Okay, the first, the most popular, and I feel like the most obvious in a way, is a party. I mean, of course, it's a time of corporate parties, family parties, just parties with your friends. It has always been, it will always, after the pandemic and stuff, be this way, and even more so after the pandemic, because people want to go out, they want to dress nicely, they want all the sparkle and colors that they can get. So I feel like the most interesting party campaigns that I've seen this year were first Chanel. It's more of a bougie, kind of Baroque style party, lots of gold, a banquet was placed in this kind of ad, and it's very, very chic, very bougie. Second campaign that I have enjoyed was Valentino holiday campaign. It was very different because I feel like it was more targeted to the youth and, well, generally younger audience, or those who kind of, like to feel themselves younger. More of useful, less of a fancy kind of party. It's not as bougie, it's more colorful, it's more vibrant, it's more about not sitting, but, standing, going to places, all of it. And the last one is a holiday campaign by Choo, and I wanted to mention it because it was starring just one model, Hailey Bieber, and they kind of tried to do it all, because in this campaign they have a very fancy, very, chic heels. Then they have a very kind of comfortable and more of the ongoing, going to places kind of heels. They even have sneakers, like for, if you are not a heel person at all. And they also have kind of different narratives going through this campaign, but because of the colors and one models, it all ties together and doesn't really look discombobulated. Discombobulated? Is it a word? I'm not sure. Okay, it all matches together, but I feel like these things only work for the brands who are specializing on the shoes or accessories. They do not do all the ready-to-wear, net-a-porter, pret-a-porter, home stuff, all this kind of jazz. And for the brands who do so, they usually kind of separate these different campaigns. Like they would do one for beauty stuff, and they would do one for accessories, and they would do one for ready to wear. This way they can both target more audiences and more potential clients, and do not look as they mixing it all together. The potential customer do not really understand the feeling and the idea they are buying. I mean, this way the shoes become just a pair of shoes, and not the shoes you are gonna be feeling yourself in particular way. You know what I mean, right? I hope it all does make sense the way it does in my head for you right now. Anyhow, the second narrative is gonna be, of course, family and family traditions, because for many people, especially for those who already have families of their own, Christmas as well as New Year is a very family holiday, and that is a very sweet piece of cake for the marketologist, because people tend to buy the majority of the gifts and presents for their family, not for their friends. Okay, we have 3 different campaigns here as well. The first one is by Carolina Herrera. It's very straight to the point, very plain. It's about the idea of giving, and it is featuring like children models in here. So, you know, it's very much straightforward, targeting people who have children. I have 2 more examples, but I forgot how they look, so I have to check. Okay, the second one is by Ralph Lauren. Why does it always happen when I film? I don't know. It is also kind of straight to the point, featuring children and families spending time together, but this one is much more in a particular aesthetic. So it's not only trying to translate the idea of giving as a whole, but a particular style of spending the holiday, because it's very countryside, picnicky, riding on the horses, spending time on your own farm, but all looking fab and nice and chic at the same time, kind of advertisement. The last campaign is by Coach and The last campaign is by Coach, and Coach also tried to do it all, because we see the narratives with the children, we see the narratives with the loved ones, we see the narratives with the mothers, and your elder generation of the family. So yeah, they are kind of doing it all in non-particular aesthetic rather than just being holiday-ish. So yeah, that's another example of how they can do it. It's not my favorite, but I feel like it's a very easy one, and lots of non-luxury brands, but diffusion brands or mass market brands are moving towards something like this. It's either party or these family traditions, like very wide description one. Okay, the third narrative is during winter sports, and I feel like it became much more popular after the pandemic. Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense, because people used to sit a lot in the house, and now they can go out and ski, skate, do ice skating, all of this fun stuff, and more people start to use it because, well, they didn't have this opportunity for the whole year. The first one is Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton is doing their holiday campaign for a particular collection, which is a seasonal collection. They're doing, well, basically ski wear and, this very winterish outerwear. And it's a really nice one. We see people going up to the mountain, and we don't see them skiing, I believe, but doesn't really matter. It's very straight to the point, but it also feels kinda new, because we haven't seen such things for nearly 2 years now. Okay, the second one is Versace, and this is Versace's version of doing ice skating. This campaign is also starring the Italian ice skater, I believe. I forgot her name, sorry. But anyhow, it is a very bougie ice skating, so it's not all that much about the actual sport. They're kind of selling the idea of doing this sport and looking very luxurious and nice while doing it. And if Louis Vuitton was more about being comfortable but stylish, Versace is about being stylish and not so much comfortable. However, I believe that they do have the actual boots for ice skating in this collection, as well as just general holiday stuff. So yeah, That's another example. And the last one is gonna be Hermes. And Hermes ad this year is an example of lazy ad for me. That is what Zara usually does, for instance. However, I feel like they're trying to be a little bit more technical-ish, Balenciaga-like, all these kind of more modern and less traditional vibes. So, unless... Sorry, I had to let the kitten go. What I was talking about? I was talking about Hermes, right. They're trying to do it more modernish and more modern, but still keeps their traditional value, and as a result we see their very traditional holiday gift ideas like card holders and ties, but they are presented in front of the winter mountain views, and people doing once again skiing and all this jazz. So this way you just kind of put your classy product on top of a narrative and do not really do the mashing up. But I mean, Hermes is on the top of the luxury market anyway, so maybe they can do it, but not a fan. The third narrative is very close to the second one, to the family and family traditions, and that is all about sharing and giving, and I will give you just one example here. It's gonna be Cartier holiday ad. I really enjoyed it. I feel like it is translating this idea of sharing and giving really nicely. I like it mostly out of what all the other brands did. H&M also did one, but I mean, it's not a luxury brand. Of course, H&M Group is a huge corporation, they do have money, but they do not necessarily do the same ads because they do not target the same audience as such as luxury brands do. You know what I mean? And I feel like this narrative in particular always comes around the Christmas season, because Christmas is very much about giving, I've saved the best for last because this is my personal favorite type of ads and the idea and the narrative, and that is winter magic and holiday spirit and doing a little bit of a fairy tale style of advertisement. First two brands that I'm gonna share with you are, well, they usually go for this kind of editorial. They are very mysticky and, a little bit weird in a way. The first campaign is made by Prada, and it's a very cute one. It's a little bit weird, a little bit kooky, but that's what we know Prada for, so this is very much within the aesthetic of the brand. And Prada does usually tend to go for this kind of fairy tale-ish, magical, but make it youthful kind of ads. The second one is by Dior. The narrative of mystified thingies is very much in the DNA of the brand, because Monsieur Christian Dior was very into the tarot readings, and he very much believed into the signs around us, all this jazz. So this mystification always kind of come up within the Dior ads, especially during the winter holidays. And the third one isn't as obvious, I feel like, but that is Max Mara. However, Max Mara did it in the very, it's in the cutest and in the weirdest way possible. So it's a kind of fairy tale where the girl happens to find herself in the whole teddy world, and you know that teddy jacket by Max Mara is the most wanted teddy jacket in the world. Like, it's the it item, and all the other teddy jackets just go behind it. They look after Max Mara teddy jacket. So yeah, and the girl in the campaign explores this world of bears and teddy stuff, and it's very cute and it's very unusual, and I feel like that's a great and very creative way to go around without doing it like typically like Dior does, because Dior kind of do it every year and it's kind of always the same, but this is very different and very fun, and that stands out around all the other campaigns, I feel like. Okay guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this video and that you will understand a little bit more about the fashion campaigns and fashion ads that you are watching. Maybe you will have more interest in them. If you like this video, please don't forget to like it, subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, and comment me the narrative you always find yourself hooked by the most, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you can write it down like party, winter sports, family traditions, all the jazz. I feel like in my case, and I have already mentioned, it's gonna be fairy tale, winter wonderland stuff, because I really enjoy this little bit of magic. And if you follow me on TikTok, and by the way, if you don't, you should definitely check it out, because I do lots of different stylizations there, like what would different characters from the fictional worlds wear in our world, like in an actual one. I did Maleficent recently, I do Harry Potter characters and houses all the time, because I'm a big Harry Potter fan and I'm a big Harry Potter geek. I also have an Instagram and Telegram. If you want to see my face more frequently, check these social media as well. And other than that, I'll see you next Wednesday. Nice to tell everybody.